Hi guys, it's Chris with City Girl Homestead, and no breakfast this morning, but I have some egg salad I'm going to use up for breakfast, and then I have a little bit of that sloppy joe mix, like just a little tiny bit that I can use too, but seems weird. So anything me and Tom usually do together to get the house around, Mama's doing it by herself today. I don't think I like that idea. Anyway, so my goal for this week and maybe next week too, we got our freezers organized. Well then, I go shopping and get this big bulk stuff, and then, before you know it, the freezer's in a bad shape again. So I've decided that I really liked saving the money I have the last 2 weeks by doing a lot of the pantry things for, what Grandma cooked. So why don't we see what we can do with our freezer and pantry? I mean, I might buy some stuff too, I don't know, but let's see what we can get done and get that freezer so we can reorganize it again. Because I do know that I need to buy some more chicken breast, so I need to make room for that too. So for this week's take and go breakfast, remember I bought all those hash browns, so I want to get those. I've got 10 of them, and I've got them mostly thawed out, and I want to get those put in the oven. So we're going to put those in the oven. I just got it at the normal 350. Now, I haven't been there in a while, but there's that L&W discount store in Claire, and I had bought this pack of fully cooked sausage patties. I just kind of want to get them warmed through so that they got a little bit of juice to them and stuff. But I bought that big old patty. It was $1.25 a pound for $1.59. So let's use that up today too, because then I have that great big huge bag of sausage patties. I think that's chicken sausage, I think. I don't know. But see how all the fat is on there? I would just like it to get a little bit juicy, you know what I mean? So that it's not so dry in the container. And it gets another bag out of the freezer. I don't have 20 of them. There's 18, I think I counted. So I can't completely do 2 of them what I wanted to do, but you know what? That's okay. We'll make it work. And I mean, really, this is going to be a cheap breakfast because, I got this stuff so cheap. If you have Amish stores by you, don't hesitate to go to them. See if you can save that money on groceries. And if you don't have an Amish store, like that one that I went to yesterday, that's not an Amish store anymore. It's a discount store, but we call it the Amish Not Amish because it used to be run by the Amish, and now I think it's run by the Mennonites because all the girls have their caps and stuff. I think it's Mennonites now. But either way, what they do is they buy truckloads of stuff, just like any of your other discount stores would do. And when they do that, you never know what they're going to bring in. Now, what I like about Discount Store Bronson is that on Wednesdays and on Fridays, they let you know what kind of stuff came in on their shipment. Like, honestly, there wasn't a whole lot that I wanted this week, but we went anyway. Because there was a few things. Now, I have more peppers and stuff like that in the back room in the freezer. So I'm going to use up my peppers. I don't know if I want to use that many onions. What the heck, why not? There's 2 more bags out of my freezer. So now I want these to brown up just a little bit so that, they're not so raw tasting in the eggs. And eggs, you guys have went up way terrible. And like, I couldn't even get them at Sam's this week. So, I was thinking, you know, if I could save, you know, use the vegetables, maybe I wouldn't have to use so many eggs. So I'm down to 30 eggs. Hopefully they'll come in sometime this week and I can get them, because you use eggs for a lot of different things. So while this is toasting up, getting completely thawed out, I'm going to do something else. I'll be right back. So I'm letting the water cook off of that. When I'm doing stuff like this, I do try to multitask, because then it seems to go faster. I don't have to do as parfaits this week because I bought that other yogurt that has the fruit in it. So now I'm just going to cut this, because we were out of his cheese. So now I'm going to cut these into rounds. This was the one I got last time I went down there. Now his friends at work, some of them like it so well they've asked us to pick them up. You know, a big long stick of it too, so. Because it really truly is really good cheese. So, you know, it's $23 or somewhere around there. But it lasts way over a month. You know what I mean? And it lasts maybe close to 2 months. And as long as you keep it, you know, sealed up, it'll last that time. Just make sure you seal it up in a bag, or, you know, suction the air out of it, whatever you need to do. The only thing I hate is cutting through it. But if you notice, my cheese knife does pretty well. There's a little bit of on it, but it does pretty good. So each one of these rounds is a week worth of cheese that Tom takes. I put together that package, and then he keeps it at work in the refrigerator, and he has it for the entire week, the meat and cheese. And I figure, you know, when I'm doing that, it's far healthier than excuse me, the Little Debbie's and stuff like that are not very healthy for you. Alright. So now I'm going to put all those eggs in there, because the water's pretty much cooked out. And we're going to put salt and pepper in there. See, now those peppers and onions will actually help not use so many of the eggs, which is good too. Now remember, I had gotten that white cheddar from down there. I took some out of the freezer this morning, and we're going to add some of that to it. And that white cheddar was only $5 for 5 pounds of it. Now, did I have to, you know, put it through and use it up? Yeah, I had to, but, you know, it saved a ton of money, which is a good thing. I'm going to turn that down a little bit so I can continue to cut on this cheese. All right. So then all I do is I just slice this up to put in the container. Like I do grapes that last all week. I send the banana every day, and usually he gets his yogurt or cottage cheese with fruit, the parfait. He takes that every day, and a fresh juice every day. Then whatever he has for his lunch is usually our leftovers from the night before. So there isn't a lot of room for the nasty stuff anymore. He still takes his Pop-Tart every day. That cheese is not quite melted yet, but that's all right, it will. So now remember yesterday I bought that beef stick. So believe it or not, we're getting low on whatever that meat is that we bought a whole bunch, that 30 pounds of it. Believe it or not, we're getting low on it. So when we go up again, we'll have to grab some more. Yeah, it's crazy. You think you'd never go through that. I think we had 50 packages, but there's weeks that I use that for my lunch. I do meat and cheese as well. So, yeah, you'd be surprised how fast you go through that. It's unbelievable. So because this was on sale for $3.50 yesterday, I grabbed one of those, and it'll be good for a couple weeks. So that's his meat and cheese for all week. Look at that. One thing down. My eggs are just about done. The sausage I pulled out. Let me show you what I meant about. Hold on. See how now it doesn't look like it's all just, you know what I mean? Like just dried out and gross. So, yeah, that looks much better. And I'm letting them cool down a little bit while the potatoes are cooking. All right, let me put this off to the side here. All right. Get me another knife here. I've decided I'm going to send him cucumbers this week as well. And he likes cucumbers. Yeah, he'll take a bunch of stuff on Monday, and then usually by Saturday I have a whole bunch of you know, plastic containers that come back home that are empty. And then this week I'm going to do a package of carrots as well, because I got those little dip things, and then he can have the carrots whenever he wants them. And if his other friends didn't come with enough food for themselves for the day, he shares. He'll be like, hey, I got some cookies in there, or there's some carrots in there, or whatever. He shares. No matter how broke we are or whatever, we always make sure that if someone else wants something or needs something with food, that we always try to help out. You know what I mean? Whether it's neighbor, workers, whatever it happens to be. I've been food insecure before. I know I'm a big girl, but when I was on my own at first, when I was 17, believe me, things were tough. I couldn't get, what do they call that? I don't know. But anyway, so I could only work part-time. And certain jobs I couldn't take at all. And when you're working part-time, trying to pay rent and everything, yeah, that's a bit rough. So now I'm going to use apple cider vinegar this time. And if he really wants more, I'll grab another one during the week. And then he'll just save his vinegar and I'll add to it so that we don't waste that vinegar. So there's another thing ready for lunch. Alright, so now the potatoes are cooling down. They're out of the oven. So if you remember yesterday, I bought these. Well, it does have a resealable lid or bag, but you know, I don't want to freeze 4 together because I'm not going to use 4 for a meal. Well, I guess maybe if I was feeding the entire neighborhood. So I'm going to individually wrap each one of these so that I don't have to keep reopening this bag and letting air into it. And I think it's going to be a lot better this way, personally. I mean, you can do it that way, but I think that whenever you can break things down, that it helps to keep it a lot longer. And I've noticed the cheese, I tried it last time with just doing a Ziploc bag. It does not stay as nice as it does if I seal it like that. And then what I'm going to do is just date this so I know, because we know it's Polish sausage, you can see that. If you can't see it, then you want to make sure you know, mark it what it is. I love this new little one. You guys, I love my other one, don't get me wrong, but it's so big and bulky. This one's so tiny, it's great. I could just whip it out and there we go. So I'm going to get those done. Alright, so now something else I like to do is when I buy in bulk or I get a bunch of bags or whatever, like I got elbow noodles the other day, I got 6 1-pound boxes, and I take them out of there because boxes and the plastic bags that they come in are not good for storage. They're just not. Because if you look at your bag, there's nothing airtight about that. So it's letting air in there. There could be a pinhole in there, anything else, and your noodles won't last as long. So if you want them to last a lot longer, by the way, I got all my cheese done and all the sausage done. You want to open this up, and that's how you'll find all of my stuff stored downstairs, and then we store them in, you know, totes for my flour, sugar, noodles, stuff like that. Now you can just put the whole bag in there and seal up the bag if you wanted to, and I have done that. But now what I do with this, never done it with this one, so we'll see how this works. But I like to get those sealed in there because, believe me, your stuff is going to last so much longer. Your noodles that would only last you 6 months to a year now will last you a long time. And what I do with those, let me see if this one will let me do it. Yep. And then I will do a single seal on it. You don't want to crush your noodles. So I get it to the point where it's tight enough to keep the seal, but not too tight to break your noodles up. So there we go. And I do that with all my noodles, my spaghetti, everything, so that, you know, it'll last you a lot longer. And then I'll date that 125. So I have that marked for when I did that up as well. So let me get this around and move it out of the way, and then we're going to put breakfast together. Alright, so I think I figured out how I want to do this. I think. Alright, so I'm going to put a sausage patty in the bottom of each one of them. Everything's cooled down now, so that works. Now, like I say, there's going to be 2 that I'm not going to be able to put a second patty in there. Then I want to put a little bit of egg in there. I didn't make as much eggs this time, so we're not going to be able to, like, put tons and tons in there. But enough to make it work. We might be able to go back and add some to the other ones too as well. These have been working out so good, you guys. Last week it was nice because Tom didn't have to warm up anything. He liked that part. We just took it out, put a spoon in it, and it was good to go. I think that'll be plenty of eggs. Alright. Sorry about that. Now the next thing I want to do is I want to throw those hash browns in there. And they fit just like perfectly in this bowl. Told you it was all cooled down, or I wouldn't be able to just grab it like that. Because you don't want to put them in the refrigerator nice and hot, you know what I mean? Okay. So then, because I've already added cheese to it, we're just going to put that second patty right on top. And because I didn't pay that much for the hash browns or anything else, it really does truly make for a cheap breakfast. Because remember, I only paid $1.49 for all that meat. So there's one that has both. So you have your sausage, you have hash browns and eggs all in one thing. Put our lids on it. This will be the 4th week we've used these, 4th or 5th week, and they're still beautiful. I haven't had to open up any new ones. So yeah, I think this was a really good investment for all those containers. So now I have his lunch stuff ready. I have breakfast stuff ready. And I have all the other food that I prepped up to go in the freezer or in the refrigerator. And that cheese, you can freeze that cheese, by the way, as well. So if you're not going to go through it as quick as we do, then freeze it. You know? There we go. So thanks for coming along with me. Sorry we didn't have breakfast this morning. Tom is too, because yeah, he hates working on Sundays. So, and so does Courtney. So it's 10 o'clock. By the time I get everything taken care of and cleaned up, I'll be in time for church. So there we go. So anytime you get a chance to buy bulk, you know, do it. And, you know, prep your freezer up. But make sure you use that stuff too. So we're going to get some of that stuff used up this week and maybe next week too. And, you know, if you have to buy a few things, don't fret the small stuff. You know what I mean? You might have an ingredient or so you have to get. Don't think anything of that. Just go ahead and get it and do what's best for your family. So I will see you at supper. No canning or anything today.